Hi everybody. Welcome to Valley Social Media. We're going to talk a little bit about customers today. This is my brilliant business strategist,
Lynn Whitman.
and I'm Sean Valley. Let's talk a little bit about customers, Lynn.
Okay. Defining your customer is one of the most important things you can do when you start marketing your business through social media. And defining your customer means figuring out who they are, what they like, where they go, what they do, all of those kinds of fun things. And the best place to start, if you're a business that has had some business already, is what do your customers like, the ones that you have today, what do they like? So the first thing you want to know is how old are they? And this may be the most important thing you can figure out about your customers, because number one, it identifies where profitability may lie. So we'll talk more about that. The other thing you really want to know is what geography are they? Do they live near you? Do you have a store that they can walk into? Is it online? Are they coming to you for a destination? What's the geography that you're selling to? The next thing is, what can you guess at by their shopping? Do they buy high-end jewelry? Do they have an active lifestyle, meaning do they buy workout clothes? Do they buy lots of tennis shoes? Are they book lovers? Do they have kids? Do they buy a lot of kids stuff, either for babies or little kids or toys or something? Are they socially active? Now, do they have lots of friends and they talk about gifts and those kinds of things? So that's the first thing you want to figure out is, what are your customers like?
Okay, let's circle back with that just for a second. Is that something that you, just as a business owner, are noticing about your customers because they become familiar to you and you talk to them, and as you just start to understand what their likes and dislikes, how they spend their time, how they spend their money, just through the natural process of working with them?
Yes, mostly that's how you do it. But the other thing you can look at is what they actually buy from you.
Okay.
And if this group of customers are all in their 40s and they buy activewear, then you know what that customer looks like. You have an idea how to reach that customer. What do they like about what you sell them, whether it's a product or a service? And then you can extrapolate from there and figure out, well, if they like skiing, then they would probably also like winter clothes, and they would probably also like staying at a resort in the winter. And so you can think about what they buy from you and what other things are included in their lifestyle.
And also seasonality. In that example you gave, you can say, oh, let's talk to them at this time of year because we know that they love to go on winter vacations, and that's when's the best time to sell to them.
Right. Seasonality can certainly be a part of it, but it isn't always. It depends on what it is you're selling. The other thing you can figure out is, how often do they shop? Is what they buy from you, whether it's a product or a service, something that they buy every 2 weeks? Is it something that they use up? Is it a one-time purchase, one time and they're one and done? So you have to categorize that, because if you're looking at someone who buys something every single week, you know how to market to them, and it's different than somebody who buys a washing machine that lasts for 20 years.
Right, and that also will influence your pricing structure and your income, because you might be spending a lot of effort. As we know with one of our recent clients, this particular client spent a lot of time on the most time-intensive, energy-draining service, but was also charging the least for that service. So we helped them relook at their pricing structure, and it made a big difference to them.
Yeah, and the last thing I would have you look at is, do you communicate with your customers? I think that is something that a lot of businesses neglect, and it's really important. Think how you feel if you buy something and you get some kind of a thank you, whether it's electronic or on a piece of paper or even a phone call, thanking you for your purchase, or thanking you for being a customer. If somebody's been there for a long time, great, you've been customers for the last 20 years, here's a way to say thank you. So communicating with your customers is almost always a great idea. And it helps your customer identify that you're someone that they want to do business with.
People that I work with that just take those few extra minutes, it's really relationship building, and it gives you a lot more trust in what they're providing you and also your commitment to them to work together.
Once you have all of this information, one of the things that we would help you do is figure out what platform to use for your social media. And this is something that most people don't think about. They think that maybe you're using Facebook and everybody goes to Facebook. Well, that's not necessarily true. There are demographics and psychographics and all those things aligned with individual platforms. So you may be looking at a platform that is not in sync with who your customer is. So that's one of the things we can help you figure out is here's my customer identification, and we can look at a multitude of different platforms and say, okay, here's where you need to be, here and here. And it may be something you've never considered before.
When I'm working with clients or clients that want to optimize their social media, but they have a lot of obstacles that prevent them from using social media, sometimes they just don't like the platform. And so I also want to mention that when we work with people, what we're trying to do is make it easy for you. I've had a lot of men who own businesses say they don't like using Facebook. It's just not something they enjoy doing. However, if it gets them clients or business, it's a really viable tool. So what we can help with is finding a way that is in integrity with them and their business to post without it having to be super personalized. Because I totally understand people not wanting to share personal information or even their own person on social media. But there's always ways around it, more so than ever with AI. There's so many creative tools, and you might even enjoy the tools, and it might make posting on these kind of platforms fun once we find the right platform for your